Hey guys, and welcome to Daily Driven. We have new everything. I'm so glad to be back. We got new microphones. We got a new cameraman. We got new cars. And we got new projects. We got a Doom buggy now. We got a new 80s muscle car that I guarantee you guys will love. Sorry about the upload schedule, guys. It's just been kind of, crazy, and getting stuff out here to record, getting cars to record, everything has just been kind of difficult. But yeah, don't worry, I'm back, and I'm back for good. We're definitely going to do this through and through. I have a really interesting car for you guys today. You're going to love it. We're going to go front to back. We're going to do the whole history of it. And then, yeah, we're going to be talking about donks, lowriders, police cars, taxis. Yeah, let's get to it. So yeah, guys, the Chevrolet Caprice. Not just any Chevy Caprice. My Chevy Caprice. It's a 1982 model. It is the 305 V8. This isn't the standard 305. This is from a 1978 truck, a C10. But yeah, guys, so I really love this car, and I love the history around the car almost as much as I love the car. So this car, when it came out, it was used in everything. Honestly, you could see them as police cars here, taxis, in movies. You could see FBI used them, detectives. It was your standard issue police car throughout the 80s until it was replaced by the Crown Victoria. But yeah, there were so many of these things made. Pretty much if you watch any movie made in the early to late 80s, and sometimes even the 90s, you'll see these cars being used by the police. You'll see them as taxis all around the show. It was even used in the original Need for Speed video game. You got your 305 5.0 liter V8 engine up front, powered by a TH350 transmission, automatic. This one is actually really special because it has overdrive, and that you can put that in later on whenever you get the transmission rebuilt. But yeah, so this has that. It usually has an 8.5 inch rear end, which this one does. And yeah, as you can see, this thing is just massive. It barely fits in shot. I bought it for $400, probably 2 years ago now. I put a new paint job on it. I put new wheels on it. What's not to like? It's beautiful. When Chevy was designing this car, they made it mainly for comfort, for prestige, for, the highest trim model. The most luxurious experience you could possibly have in the Chevy lineup was this car at the time. Arguably, the Caprice actually started the donk craze. The idea of lifting up your car, putting huge rims on it. Here's a picture of one here. I don't really like the idea myself, but do whatever you want to do with your car, I guess. And interestingly, they also make lowriders of these. Here you go. It's interesting because the 4-door is more used as a donk, and the 2-door is more used as a lowrider. 0 to 60 is a little slow at about 1,000,000 seconds. So yeah, not fast, but that doesn't keep it from looking cool, and sounding cool, as you just heard. We're going to explore more of that in a minute. These cars can definitely be made to be fast. This one is definitely not. This one, when they were new, they had about 135 to 140 horsepower. The police models had about 160 to 170, depending on what motor they had. And some special police cars actually got the 350 5.7 liter V8. And those produced about 190 to 210 horsepower and upwards of 270 pound-feet of torque. So definitely a big upgrade over the 305. They also made a V6 version, which didn't go over too well. They made a diesel, which I haven't heard too many bad or good things about. I imagine it's not great. With the 305 V8, it's actually not that bad. It's about on par with like a 4-cylinder Altima, like an older one, like a 95 or something like that. But definitely not fast, but it does look the part, and it sounds the part, and eventually it will go the part. My plans for this car include a 454 big block up front, probably built one, hopefully looking around 350, 400 horsepower. I already have that rebuilt transmission, so I'm not too worried about it blowing up or anything. I want to change the rear gear and the differential. Right now it's something crazy, like a 241. Maybe change it to like a 310, something like that, a 373 maybe, I don't know. Like I said, this car does have overdrive, so I'm not really worried about the fuel mileage or RPMs or anything on the highway too much. Okay, so we'll start at the front, and then we'll work our way back. Starting at the front, the big beautiful chrome bumpers, you got the license plate holder, you got the huge hood ornament. You got the big grille. I really like the look of this thing in the front. I really like the use of chrome on it. I mean, sometimes there's way too much chrome. In fact, if you ever decide to paint one of these, it takes exactly 18 rolls of Dollar Tree painter's tape to do the whole car. Yeah, so not fun, definitely. It took about 4 hours to do. Anyway, moving on. Here's a look at the infamously mediocre engine that is powering this huge car. This one is carbureted. It has the dual jet 210 Rochester carburetor on it, which is absolutely terrible. But otherwise, the engine is actually not bad. I really do enjoy it. It's fun to drive. It's fast enough. It sounds really good. I'll tell you why it sounds really good in a little bit. Other than the air conditioner, pretty much everything on the inside works. So that's really cool, being the age that it is and having 281,000 miles on it. Of course, like I said, this engine and transmission have been rebuilt since then, so the engine, we believe, has about 140,000 and the transmission has roughly 20,000. Moving on to the interior, you have wood absolutely everywhere. It's obviously fake, but it's still really cool. And this one's in alright condition. I've definitely seen it better, but around the radio and here especially, it's still really good and intact. It actually has a analog clock. It still has the original radio. It even still works. One speaker only, but it still works. Right here, this is an installed switch. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think you can, but you can hear it there. That's for the overdrive. Your sun visors, which are pretty much just pieces of cloth on a stick, effectively. Yeah, overall, I really like the interior on this car. I'm thinking, I really like the steering wheel, but I would like to find one in a little bit better condition. This one is kind of missing the trim pieces and whatnot. I'm really wanting to put another radio in, but I really like the originality of this one. So I might end up with coming in on the bottom here and making custom paneling for that. Hopefully being able to have the original radio and put the new one in at the same time without having to cut any of the wood grain, because I really do like it. All right, guys, moving on to the back seat now. This seat's pulled all the way back, and it's actually still really comfortable back here. This is so cushy, and I imagine it's just a joy to ride in back here. I've actually never ridden back here. This is the first time me sitting back here in the time that I've owned the car. A lot nicer than some of the new cars you get nowadays where you have zero leg room and the seats are hard as a rock and, you know, awful. And interestingly enough, I'm sure you saw on the minute ago, this seat 6, as you have 3 in the front, 3 in the back, is 2 benches. So that's pretty cool. And as with the front, we have manual roll down windows. So, I mean, that's good. Less to go wrong. All right. And weirdly enough, one of the only, I guess, mechanical features not working on this car is this door. For some reason, you can hear the mechanism moving, but the lock, and I mean, you can move the lock up and down, but it just doesn't work. All right, guys, move along to the back now. I absolutely love the back of this car. The newer models have a one continuous bar of light, but I just prefer the 3. Most people don't actually, but I think it looks a lot more muscle car-y and, you know, just overall cooler. One cool feature to note back here, actually 2, is the hideaway trunk release latch. That's pretty common. One thing that's a little less common, especially these days, some younger viewers might have never even seen this before, and that is a hideaway gas cap. So it's underneath the license plate, and I really do like this design, and I don't know why they don't still have it, and I would really like it to have a comeback, mainly because it's so much easier to fill your car up. Whenever, instead of having to go to one side or the other or whatever, you can just pull into any side you like, and then because it goes to the center anyway, so you can fill it up on either side, and it's just a lot more helpful, and you don't have to do all the messing around with turning and all that. So yeah, really helpful. All right, guys, now it's time for the best part, taking it for a drive. Whew, listen to that. What you're hearing is straight pipe directly from exhaust manifold to a Flowmaster Super 10 directly dumped straight on the bottom of the downpipe. No cat, no nothing, everything completely straight piped and then right in the middle of the car. That's why it sounds so good. I'll give it a little bit of revs for you guys. I've always loved cars that can shake whenever you rev them. All right, first we're going to do an acceleration test to 45. So yeah, let's do it. All right, and go. 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So it's actually not that slow. It's definitely a fun car to cruise, but you're never going to go around a corner quick in this thing. All right, guys. Well, that's probably about it for this video. I really hope you did enjoy it. Next video, we're going to be taking a look at my new project car. I think you guys are really going to like it. It's definitely a lot uglier than this one, but that's just temporary, and I already got some really, really pretty paint for it, and I cannot wait to show it to you guys. After that, we have 2 vans to review. We have a Lexus. We have the Doom Buggy I was speaking about earlier. We have a really cool Flowmaster video I'm thinking about doing. And yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.